Hello.
Hello, sir.
Good afternoon, Dr. Francis.
Yeah, good afternoon. How are you?
Very well, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. All right. I'm waiting for anybody.
No, sir. Hello.
Okay, we can start. All right, that's fine. Where did we stop? Where did we stop last? Yes, where did we stop last? Oh, we have not done anything.
So we had done ANOVA and t-test, and then
Okay. ANOVA t-test. Okay, linear regression. Okay. So basically, we have done some basics of the statistical analysis, right?
yes,
So, but there's one assumption that we have made that most times that the data you already have has already been cleaned, isn't it? Has already been cleaned. So it's also important that you also get the fundamentals of how you maybe explore your data, because most time what you normally do is to import the data, right? Once you have imported the data, you need to what? Explore the data, right? If you explore the data, you check what's happening. So that exploration is what they refer to as EDA, exploratory data analysis, just to have an overview of what the data looks like. So, in terms of the size of the data, what kind of data type it is, what are the variables, right? So you need to explore that data. So after you explore it, then most often you need to what? Clean the data. You need to clean the data, right? You need to clean the data. Then also sometimes you have to, so after cleaning data, you need to know, because most time you don't work with the entire data. You need to select some part of the data. So that comes under manipulation. So you must have manipulated the data to select certain columns that you need, Okay, once it's clean, you have selected a columns. Then before you can now apply your what? Analysis. Then maybe you can now visualize. Okay, so those are the basic ways you just think about it. So most time the analysis we have done here is assumed that all these have not happened already, isn't it? So we need to just understand the fundamentals of maybe data exploration, data manipulation, the data cleaning. So I think that's what we'll just introduce you to. Then we'll come back again to continue our machine learning, because most times the data is never clean and it's not everything you need. So you need to learn how to what? Have we learned how to select columns? Have we learned how to select columns from the data? Select specific columns. Have we learned that? Hello?
No, we have not. We have not. We have not.
We have not. Okay. All right. That's fine. So normally, when you're in R, what is the first thing you start with in R? What do you start with in R? So if I want to start in R, what do I need to do first? Yes? Okay, get the libraries. Okay, good. Get libraries. So how do we get the libraries? So say library. Library. So which are the libraries are we bringing in now? Can be tidyverse. Okay. And you can bring library deep. All right. Okay, so we brought those libraries now. Now, you see, most time we have learned how to import data, isn't it? We have learned how to import data.
Yes.
Right? Have we learned how to import data?
Yes, sir, we have.
We have learned how to import data, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Now, but you also, we know how to create data frames here. Do you know how to create data frames? That's like you want to create your own data.
We've not done that, sir.
To create your own data.
No, what we've been doing has been importing. We've been importing data.
So I've not shown you how to create your own data. So for example, you want to create a short data. For example, you have, let's say I want to create variable. Let's say we have Lagos, we have Abuja. Let's say you have Port Harcourt. They will have, maybe people have numbers. Let's say 4, maybe 4, 6, 7. This one will now be, let's say Abuja will be 8. Let's say 9. This one will be 11. This will be 12. This should be 13. This should be 14. So I just want to create a table looking like this now. We have not done it. We have not. I'm sure when we started the basics of R now.
We have done.
Okay, let me just show you quickly, because sometimes it's also important that you learn how to create your own. Okay. So you can just understand how it works. So normally, if I was to bring it in, so you know, programming, we refer to the tables as data frames. They call them data frames. Remember when we are dealing with pandas, when we are dealing with it is pd.data frame, isn't it? The data frame. Okay, but in R, it is data.frame. But it's still the same thing that we have done in Python. Okay, so if I was to create a table, it will be created in a data frame. So let's say, for example, df data.frame. So that data frame is what we want to use to create that table. Okay, and we know, for example, if I want to create maybe okay, let me just say Lagos. I want to create Lagos. Okay, so Lagos will be equal to now. Remember, if I want to combine them now, so I'll concatenate them 4, 6, 7. So let me run that. So if I view it, view df, can you see what we have here now? So we have Lagos 477. 477. Where's the one I was working with just now? Okay, good. 477. So in the same way, I can say 4. Okay, let me change it to 467. 467. All right, good. Now, if I want to now add other ones to it, so for example, I want to add Abuja. So I can have, so let me have here Lagos, let me have here Abuja. So Abuja will be what now? 8, 11, 13, comma. Then let's say Port Harcourt will be equal to what? 9, 12, 14. So let's run that. View df. What did I add to it now? Where did this one come from now? Was it because I ran it before? Let me close bracket there. So Lagos, Abuja. Okay, I didn't combine it. Okay. Do I need to close? Is there any bracket to close again? Still one more bracket to close. All right, so that's it. Okay. For example, if you want to, let's say, assuming there was a missing data there, you know, for missing data, right? If you put NA means what?
Not empty, not
NA means what? Not available, isn't it? So that's like a missing data there. Okay, that's NA, missing data. Okay, so that's a missing data there. So in case I want to add another variable to it, what do I do? Let's say I'll add another one. Let's say products. Okay, products. So I can combine it. Let's say we have, maybe you're selling let's say you're selling Apple, you're selling Samsung, you're selling which other product again? Let's say Sony. Okay. So let's view that data. But I showed you guys how to unpivot, right? So if you want to unpivot this data, how do you unpivot it now? If you want to unpivot this data, how do you unpivot it? Yes. If you want to unpivot, I'm sure we did this one. If you are pivoting your data, if you want to unpivot the data, we use stack. Did I explain this one to you? Stack. Then you can see your data is unpivoted now.
You did, sir.
It's like, is it that we have not been practicing it? Because now it looks as if it's the first time I'm introducing it. All right. Because this is a very important, especially when, because you know in some organizations, right, they have certain tools that they use. Okay. So if you have been used to Python, and now in the organization you're working with now, they are using R. It's just for you to understand. It's the same way you think about it, but it's just how it is done there. But you already know what you need to do. Okay. So these different ways of creating your own data. But you know, in a tidyverse, you have a lot of data. You have a lot of data, right? So if I want to check data, if I put data like this, data, can you see it will give you a list of all data? Can you see all the data? Now all these are all data. These are all in tidyverse. Can you see that? All these are all data. They are all data. So these are data you said you can use to practice. So for example, if you want to check, if you want to need help on the data, you just put question mark data. Can you see that? Then to give you, can you see data set? It will describe it for you, how to use it. Or if you want to find the details of the data, let's say for example, which data can we use now? Okay, there's a popular data, Star Wars. There's Star Wars here. I think they have this data, Star Wars. Okay, MS Sleep. Or any data you pick at all. Any data you pick at all. So if I want to pick any this, for example, MS Sleep, can you see that? If I run it now, that's the data set there. Can you see it? But if I want to view it properly, I'll say view MS Sleep. Can you see that? That's the data there. I think there's another data set. Let's see, car. Is it cars? Yes. Can I say a simple data set, cars? Okay. So if you want to check what's happening about that, if you want to understand how they measure the data, so you can type cars like this. I put question mark cars. Can you see that? It will tell you speed and stopping distance of cars. It will describe the data for you. To give you the formats. So same thing you can do for, let's say, sleep. I think even Titanic is here. Let me see Titanic. View Titanic. Yeah, there's Titanic data here. So this is the same Titanic. This is Titanic data. But this is a bit different from the one we are used in Python. But there's Titanic data. So if you want to see the measurement, so I'll just put question mark Titanic. So can you see the survival of passengers? They can now read how it was measured and the rest. All right, I hope this is clear. So if I put question marks, Star Wars, so there's still Star Wars here. So you have quite a number of data sets here you can play with, right? You have quite a number of data sets you can play with. So these are all the data dictionary. So Star Wars. So if I just say view Star Wars and I run it, can you see the data set now? So all these are the ones you can use to practice. However, you already know how to import your own data in case you need, isn't it?
Yes.
We all can import data now, isn't it?
Yes.
Can we all import data? If you have your own data set, they give you the CSV file or Excel file. If I was to import an Excel file, how do I import the Excel file?
Read Excel.
Read Excel. So you need, first of all, you need to call the library first, right? You need to call the library, read Excel. Is it not? Then before you start importing it. Good. Alternatively, you come here to what? Your files, your import environment, import data sets. So those are different ways of doing it. So let's say, for example, we have Star Wars. So for example, you want to explore the data, right? You want to know what's in that data set. Because you know, most time when you see the data, what is more important is your approach to how you go through the problem. Okay. So remember, there's a problem. You have certain questions you need to ask, isn't it? Based on those questions, your objective of your analysis to provide answers to those questions. And in providing those answers, you require what? Data sets. So when you are given that data set, sometimes it's not everything you are interested in. It's just certain variables you are interested in. Okay. So that's why it's important to explore, so you understand how it has been measured. Is it not? Check whether the data is clean. Okay. How many columns do you have? What's the size of the data? Because that matters a lot. All right. So so different things you can do. For example, there's something you call glimpse. Have we talked about glimpse? Star Wars. So if I say glimpse, so glimpse is what? So just having an idea of what the data looks like. Can you see that? Rows. Can you see 87 rows, 14 columns? Can you see the columns now? So you have the date. So this one, what does this mean? What does this mean? Yeah?
The type of the data.
Yes, the data type, your data type. So this is character. That is just like text. This is like integer. This is double. So double is like where he has decimal. They are called doubles. So you have character, double, list. You have lists. Okay. You have lists too. So just like your data structures, you have lists, you have dictionaries, you have sets, you have tuples. So those are your data structures. All right, so you can use glimpse to just have an idea of what data looks like. Okay. Now, even if you want to check, so you have deep, let's say Star Wars. So can you see that it's telling the dimension? So 87 rows, 14 columns. So that's your glimpse already summarizes it for you there. Okay. Even sometimes you want to summarize everything, say summary Star Wars. Now, but you see, when you are using summary, because it has a lot of characters, can you see that? Because summary is like a descriptive statistics. But remember, when you have qualitative data, what kind of analysis can you do for qualitative data?
That's good.
Yeah.
Qualitative.
Yes. Count. You can do what? A count.
Yes.
You can do a count. So, for example, if I have that cars, for example, cars, right? Cars. So if I say cars, now look at cars. What kind of data is this? What kind of data is that? Cars. What kind of data is this? Cars.
Is numeric.
Is what?
Quantitative.
In case you are not sure, right? In case you are not sure, there's this thing called class. Class of what? Cars. Can you see that? It's telling that is a what? Data what? Frame. But I want to now check in each of them. So let me type glimpse of cars. So it's telling you this is double, right? So that's already numeric in itself. Okay. Now it means that since they are numeric, then I can do a summary statistic. So I say summary of what? Cars. Can you see what it has done? It has summarized it, the minimum, the median, the mean, the maximum. Can you see that? So this is what a descriptive statistics. I'm sure we have done this before now, descriptive statistics. If I want to find the correlation, how do I find the correlation?
Correct.
Correlate what now? Correlate what? If I say correlate cars, can you see that now? So that's a simple correlation. But this is only when it's quantitative. No, but you see, the assumption here is that they have already selected data for you, cleaned it up, right? And you can easily analyze. But most times, data is never that way. So it's not all the columns you will need. You need to learn how to select specific columns. You need to learn how to remove all the missing data. Okay. But what is more important, first of all, exploration of your data. Okay. Sorry, please, can we mute our mics? Someone's mic is on. All right, good. Now, for example, if I say class, right? Class of Star Wars. So you can see different. This is this table data frame table and the data frame. But if I want to go individual, let me see individual. Now, another thing again you can do, there's something called column names. So let's say column names of Star Wars. Column names. So can you see all the column names now? These are all the column names. So for example, I don't want to check all of them. I want to check specific. I want to check specific column, the class of the specific columns. Let's say, for example, so if I want to select name, how will I select name? If I want to select this name, how do I select only name? How do I select only name? Yes? How do I select only name?
Maybe class, then column name.
Eh? It's
Class. Star Wars.
Star Wars, yes.
Dot column. Dot the name.
Dot name like this. Object. So instead of using these dots, what do you use? You use what? The dollar sign. Is that dollar sign that now brings it out? So it now tells you the character. Can you see that now?
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
So if I say mass, so it's numeric. Can you see that? So that's how you select individual. Are we clear with this? We have done most of them. So for example, again, the way I have used column names, if you see where I say column names, right? I say Star Wars. So this is the column names. Now, there's also another way I can do it. I say name Star Wars. Can you see they're exactly the same thing? So either I use column names or what names. The same way, I can check for the rows. So if I say row Star Wars, so can you see the rows? It will show me all the rows there. Can you see that? But if I say, okay, can I see the row names? Row names Star Wars. Can you see that? I'll arrange them now. Even again, the same way we have glimpse, right? Same way we have glimpse of Star Wars. So this is just a breakdown of everything. We also have structure of Star Wars. So if I run that Star Wars, so can you see that it will bring out all the features for me? Okay, so to bring out all the features for you. All right. Now, for example, the way I selected the data, let's say I want to select, let's say vehicle. So if I say class Star Wars vehicle. So you see, once I put the $sign, can you see that's brought out all the columns for me? Can you see that has brought all the columns for me? So I can now choose, let's say height, for example. If I say height, or we say it's an integer. Can you see that? Now, the same way, you can also check for the length. If I say length of Star Wars, right? Length of Star Wars, 14. 14 means what?
14 rows.
14 what?
Rows.
Columns.
Okay.
Yeah. So if I say length of Star Wars, height.
Okay.
Can you see that? So here it's telling me what the rows of the heights. So can you see the difference now?
Okay, yeah, yes.
Exactly.
Height
So for
is
example,
for the
yeah.
rows.
So for example, if I check, for example, okay, let's run on that one. Let's say glimpse of Star Wars. So let's say, for example, okay, let's say gender. Look at gender now. I want to bring out only the unique values in gender. So there's a function called unique. You know, like in Excel, there's a function called unique, isn't it? So if I say Star Wars, so I want for gender, so gender. So can you see that you bring out the unique gender for me? NA means what? NA means what?
Not available.
Not available. Okay, which is a missing word data. Okay, so if I say glimpse, or let's say unique, let's say Star Wars, let's say starships. Can you see that? To bring out the unique value. So just for you to just check. So if I want to check the unique values, isn't it? I can use what? Unique. I hope we are clear with this. I hope we are clear with this.
We are following you, sir.
Okay, good. Now, sometimes you see, if you want to look at your tables, right? Now, if I want to, for example, select specific this thing there. So if I want to call it, let's say Star Wars, right? Star Wars. Now, you know what this is doing now, right? Piping. So just saying and then, so I've selected Star Wars and then. What's the shortcut to pipe? What's the shortcut to pipe? Yes, what's the shortcut to pipe? What is the shortcut to pipe? What's the shortcut to pipe? Yes?
Control M.
Control Shift N. Control Shift M. So just like say, and then what do I want to do next? Isn't it? And then, or take the result of that table. You know, this is the Star Wars data, isn't it? So that data set, what do I want to do next with it? Right? I want to select specific data. So let's say I want to select what now? So what do we have there? So if I want to see all the columns, how will I see the columns now?
No names.
I'll just say what? Either I say names or column. So names of what? Star Wars, isn't it? So I'll see all the columns. So you see why it's important you learn all these basic things. So there are sometimes you need to what? Use some functions so I can see them. Okay. So for example, I've seen hair color. So let's see, select hair color. Can you see that? And then what do I want to do next? So and then let me count. Count what? Hair color. Okay. Then if I want to view it, I just say view. So it just comes out straight. Can you see that? So to count each of them. Can you see what it has done? It has now counted each of them. If, for example, now you want to arrange it, right? If you want to arrange it now, maybe you want to sort it. Although on this your table, right? Although on this your table, when you are running it here, if I run it this way, if I click here, it will arrange it for you. Can you see that? If I click there, it will arrange it for you, sort it for you. But in case you want to write your syntax to arrange it itself, so let's do it again. So Star Wars, select what now? So let's say, for example, if I look at Star Wars, right? So look at Star Wars. So if I say Star Wars, so let's run the data and see now. You see, Star Wars starts with what? It starts with name, isn't it? Star Wars starts with name. Okay. Now I want to select it. I don't want everything. I just want a specific listing there. So I can say Star Wars select maybe name, comma, hair color. Can you see that? So I want name, hair color, then every other thing else. Everything. So there's a function called everything. So let me pipe it and view. You know what this one is doing now? Name. So instead of me showing me name, height, mass, it will show me name, hair color, then every other thing. Can you see that? Then every other thing. That means I'm rearranging my data. Can you see that? Name, hair color, then every other data there. Okay. The same way, if for example I say Star Wars, select, so I want to bring everything out. So it's the same thing as just running Star Wars, but there's a function called everything. Can you see that? Then I want to view it, so I'll say view. If I run that now, it's the same thing as running everything there. Can you see that? The same thing as running everything. So we can select specific columns, isn't it? So what I was trying to show you now is that if I select my data, so let me just do it again, Star Wars, select what? Hair color, right? Then, hold on, I want to count it. So I want to count. What am I counting? I'm counting what? Hair color, isn't it? And then what I want to now arrange it. Can you see that? I want to now what? Arrange it. Now, if I arrange like this, most times by default it's going to be in ascending order. Okay, so I can say descending what? Order. Let's say Star Wars. Then let me view. Let's see. Okay.
But do we need to put the Star Wars again?
No, that's it. Let me run it again and see. Okay, this, so maybe here. Let me see. Okay, can you see that? So it will now arrange it for you in descending order. But you know, if I just click on this, it will arrange it in ascending. So by default, when you are arranging it, it just arrange in what? So let me see this one. If I say arrange, so can you see what it's doing? It just bring it out that way, the way it is. Let me put in the the number. And so can you see what it has done? This is by default in ascending order. Okay. So let's say, let me see if I call number here. Let me see. Okay. It has to just show it as number there, as n. So that's what is there. So if I want to put it in descending order, so that's the essence of why we now say arrange. So arrange in descending order. So if I want to now bring it in descending order, I'll now bring descending order. Descending order. So that's to select the data in descending order. Otherwise, the easiest way would have just to click here and is it? But that's the syntax for it. Okay. Now, sometimes you know that when you have missing data, right? Missing data is what? How does R denote missing data?
NA.
NA, is it not? NA.
Yes, sir.
So let's say, is there a missing data here? So if I say is NA, can you see that is.NA? So is there a missing data? So let's say Star Wars, right? Is there a missing data in Star Wars? Can you see what it has done? So false means what? So let's look at it. False, 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 false. This is not true. False, 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 true. True means what? True means what?
There's missing data.
Yes, missing data. False means what?
There's no
Yes.
Missing
Missing
data.
data. Exactly. So if I want to select for a specific column, so for example, if I say is NA, then I now select hair color. You know, so Star Wars hair color. Can you see that? It will pick everything for this thing, everything about that hair color, and pick it out for you and check, is there missing data there? Okay. Now, another thing again you can do, sometimes instead of me calling, if I just type hair color here, hair color. Now you see, it doesn't understand what hair color is, isn't it? Because I need to call it to what? Star Wars. But if I always wanted to see Star Wars, then I'll just say attach. Attach Star Wars. Can you see that now? So once I've attached it now, it now knows, okay, this is data set I'm working with. So if I now say is NA hair color, then it will now show me. Can you see the two methods now? So the first one means that if I don't attach it, that means I always have to call the data name, the table name, and the column name. Okay. Then I'll now say Star Wars hair color, isn't it? But if I use attach like this, if I attach it once, that means I don't need to be calling the table name anymore. Is that clear?
Yes.
Are we clear with that? Yeah. Okay. So sometimes again, if you want to show your missing data, although we'll come to it much in more details, just the same way we have said is NA for Star Wars, right? What is this one doing? What does this do? It will show me everything where there's what? Missing data. Is it not? So what I want to do, you know, true is 1, 0 is 4, 4 0, isn't it? So if I decide to say sum of this, so what is it doing for you?
It's added the missing data.
Yes, it's adding up. So you remember true is 1, false is 0. So by the time he added up everything, now say there's 105 what missing what data there. Okay. The same way you can even sum your column. So you can have column sum. Okay. Is any then star was. So to now go to each column now and sum it up. So in name, there's no missing data. In height, 6. For mass, 28. Hair color, 5. Skin color, 0, 0. Can you see that? Can you see the difference now? This is now for the entire table. Now this one go to each column and sum it up for me. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Is that clear? All right, good. So just the same way we have this now, right? Where I will say, now to give me this way, but if I want to now sit in the table, then I can say view. So view what star was. So I want to now say is any. Okay, so let's say I want to see hair color, right? Hair color. But I want to see everything there. So let me run that and see. So can you see that? Show me where what hair color is what. So you see that command means give me everything. So show me where it is missing. Okay, show me where it is what missing. What if I have said, okay, Star Wars, let's see. Okay, no, because that one you have to select. I've already specified Star Wars there. So let's pick, let's say another one. Let's say, which other column do we have there again? Hair color. Oh, so if I call column, let me say names.
Have name.
Yes, Star Wars. Star Wars. So let's say, for example, heights. So Star Wars. Let's say heights. So to show me where there's height and where is missing. Can you see that? So then you now know what to do, isn't it? So either I drop or I fill it, isn't it? So you now know what you need to do there. So are we clear with this? So this is about more like exploring your what data. Is that okay? Because after exploring, you at least when you finish exploring your data, you now know what to clean, isn't it? You now know what to clean. Okay, they will now know what to clean. And if you remember that when we talk about a clean data set, is it not? We gave a particular structure, what a clean data set should look like. And we gave some certain rules. What were those rules for a clean data set? What should it look like? We gave some basic rules. What are those rules?
All dates must be on one column.
So, okay, all dates on a single column.
No missing data.
There is no empty rows. Is it not? No empty rows.
The other must be on the first column.
Is
On the first row. The first row has to be the header.
Okay, one row of header, isn't it? One row of header. So no empty columns. You know, missing data is different. Isn't it? Missing data is different. So you need to understand how it works. Because missing data and empty rows, they are two different things. Missing data, for example, if I check the first column of the primary key, right? If I have a missing data there, it's likely that that row is empty. Is it not? Can we have missing data for your primary key? Yes. Can you have missing data for your primary key?
No.
Because if you have missing data, it means that deliberately you did not put it, because every table must have a unique identifier, isn't it?
Yes.
So if you have omitted it, it's either that entire word row is what? Empty.
No.
Okay, it's null, exactly. Okay. Then you may see some data in the row, then some will be NA, then you now continue. Then that is a typical case of missing data. But when you see null all through, that is missing data, isn't it? On the rows, or all through on the column, that is empty word column. What again? What again do we mention? Yes.
You said that there should not be, you shouldn't merge cells. All cells should be single. No
Yes,
merge.
we talked about don't merge cells. Don't merge cells. Now, these are now basic Excel rules, but this one I'm talking about generally for your table structure, how your table structure should look like. These are the, yes, don't merge cells. Yes, what again?
Every row should have a unique identifier.
Yes, so we say every table should have a unique identifier, which is your primary key, isn't it? Now on the group yesterday, I sent you guys one video, right?
Yes.
Where you see two exact people, same name, same facial structure, same job, but they are two different people. So that was a typical use case of where you will always need what? A primary key. Is it not to identify them? Otherwise, you can just make a mistake. Because sometimes we say these things in practice that two people can be exactly the same thing. I think we have seen practice now, how two people can be looking alike, same name, same everything, isn't it? All right, what again did we mention? What again did we mention? Yes?
As future of clean data, sir. Sir.
Yes, that's yes. How your table structure should look like. A clean table structure, how it should look like. One row of header, no empty rows, no empty columns.
No merging of cells.
Yes, we have mentioned that. Now, this is when you are working with Excel, but I'm giving generally for your table structure. Isn't it?
Okay,
we said that there should be no total, isn't it? No total or subtotal. Isn't it? You know, it is easy to identify total. For example, if I have columns like this, I have columns, revenue. Maybe I have 3 columns, revenue, cost, and profits. Isn't it? I have columns, either columns or row, revenue, cost, and profits. Now, which of them is a subtotal here? Which of them is a subtotal?
Profit.
Profit is, so it means that I'm expected to remove what? Profits. Profit should not be there. Why?
This is derived from.
Because I can derive it from here, and that will be done in my analysis. Do you get that now? So that's a typical example of what? A subtotal. Because not everywhere you be seeing subtotal or total. Isn't it? So if I see profit, and I see, oh, there's revenue, I've seen it. For example, if I have quantity, I have selling price, like selling price, and I have selling price, like I have profit like this. Can you see that? Which ones will I remove? Which of them will I take off?
You take off revenue,
I'll take off revenue
profits.
and I'll take out profits because they are what subtotals. Because quantity and selling price will generate revenue. That revenue, that's quantity times selling price minus cost to give me profits. Can you see that? So these are examples of what subtotals. Clear?
Oh, sir, we've always been using things like this. In fact, in some other tools, we even like derived them, like in Power BI and in Python. We created them new tables from this.
Yes.
So are you saying that those tables were not like ideal tables?
Now you see, if you look at that particular data set now, if it has profits, that means that profit, you notice that there was no cost. You see that there was no cost. So that means if you were to derive cost, we now say sales minus profit will give me cost. Because there was no calculation of how it was done. But what we are saying, once you have the raw data, for example, the makeup of quantity and sales, and I have profit, then I don't need profit there, I'll delete profit off because it can be calculated. But in that table, like that superstore, it did not have all this. It only had sales and profits. So it did not show how it was calculated. So that's the essence of why it was there. But basically, once you have this, your quantity and sales, you don't need this one anymore. Or you don't need this one anymore because you can easily was calculated. Clear? What again did we mention? We said all variables should be on a single column, isn't it? All variables on a single column. All variables on a single column. What again now? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we said no obstruction, isn't it? No obstruction around the data. No obstruction around data. All right, so these are some rules that we gave, isn't it? Some rules that we gave. And you know that most times, if your data, they are not on a single column, what do we do? If your variables are not on a single column, what do we now do? If your variables are not on a single column, what do you do? Or your dates, what do you now do? Yes? If your variables are not on a single column, what do you now do?
You put them in a single column.
So how do you do that?
On pivot.
You what? On pivots. Exactly, you on pivot. How do you on pivot in R?
You stack.
Stack, exactly. That was the example. That was the example I gave somewhere here. So if I run this here, can you see how it looks? This is an example of what a pivot table. This is a pivoted table, isn't it? So if I want to now make it, if I want to unpivot it now, what do I now do? I'll now use what? Stack. So I can now stack it. So this is now the what? So this is what will now look like. Can you see that now? So those are examples. So now these are basic things that we need to understand in your table, because this will now determine what am I cleaning. Because the way you are going to clean it depends on how well you understand your table. So it means that if I'm looking for a clean data set, so there are certain things I will start looking out for, isn't it? So first of all, the table must be structured this way. One row of header, no empty rows, no empty columns, isn't it? If they are there, I will remove them. All dates on a single column, no total or subtotal, no obstruction around the data, all variables on a single word column. So that's how the structure should look like. But not everything I'm going to see there, isn't it? For example, I should ensure that there are no duplicates, isn't it? You don't want duplicates there. So there are things that you are going to be looking out for. For example, duplicates. Do you want to see duplicates in your data?
No.
So no duplicates. So no duplicates. So let me say no duplicates. What again? No spelling errors. So these are some things now. No spelling errors, right? What again? No irrelevant characters. Irrelevant characters. You know, for example, you'll be seeing some kind of funny symbols in your data set. Okay. What again? What other things do we observe? Spaces. No spaces, is it not? Avoid spaces. You know these spaces that we don't need. Any other thing again?
So how do we say there are some tables like on the same column, some will be numeric, some will also be string in different rows.
Okay, so be numeric. So that's important. That's another important point, that you must check that they have appropriate data type. So check for what? Appropriate data type. So in that case, what you can now do, you can convert all of them to one. Okay, I'm sure later I'll show you how to convert. Maybe I'll show you how to convert. For example, you know that in your data types, right? We talk about qualitative and quantitative. Okay, so when we are measuring them, especially your qualitative data, you can have what they call, so you know your measures, right? You remember your measures? You have nominal, you have ordinal, isn't it? Then you have either your scale, your ratio scale, either ratios or interval. So these ones are normally used for what? Qualitative data. Okay, which they also refer to as what? Categorical what? Data. But in R refers to them as factors. R refers to them as what? Factors. So when you say a factor refers to what? A categorical data, which can be measured either ordinal or what? Nominal. So when it is just like a nominal text, so they are usually called characters. They are called characters. But in this ordinal, they can be referred to as what? Factors. So we're going to see how we can arrange them. Okay, so it's important to check what? The appropriate what? Data type. What again can we check again? What again? Because remember, if you don't have the appropriate data type, you cannot carry out your analysis. Because that will determine the kind of analysis you are going to do. Okay. What again do we look out for? Yes. What again do you look out for? What again do we look out for? Yes, what again do we look out for in your data to make sure that it looks clean? Also, we check for what? Outliers, isn't it? Check for what? Outliers. So your data should be free from what? Outliers. Okay. But even if you see an outlier, first of all, you should be able to first of all identify. You need to learn how to identify the outlier. Then check if it's because of an error or it's by nature of that data, it was an outlier. So you check for what? Outliers. So check for what? Outliers. Check outliers. All right, good. So these are things we look out for when we are cleaning our data, isn't it? Which means if you're having a messy data implies that what? You will have what? Spelling errors. You will have duplicate rows, isn't it? Or columns. You will have white spaces, is it not? So that spaces, you can call them white spaces. White spaces or blanks. It means again that you will have missing data, isn't it? Now, another thing again you should take note of there. NA means what? What is NA? NA means what?
Not available.
Not available. Okay, not available. All right. If we say NA not available, right? Now, what about where you have situation like null? What is null?
Empty.
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 Okay. What about NaN?
Not a number.
Not a number. What about none?
Empty or zero.
What about unknown?
You connect to
What about unknown?
your friend. Yes.
Empty.
Not recognized.
Eh?
Not recognized.
Not recognized. All right, because you see, when you are cleaning your data, you must understand the implication of this. What about zero? What about zero? What about zero? Now, because sometimes you will see null. Some people say fill it with zero. Are they the same thing? Are they the same thing?
No, they are not.
If I have sales, right? If I have sales and I put zero, does it have a meaning there? If I have sales and I put zero there, does it have a meaning there?
No.
No
If I have temperature and I put zero there, does it have a meaning there?
Yes, it does.
It has, is it not?
Yes.
So you need to understand your data type to now know the implication of it. Because sometimes you see null, then you now say, where is null? Put zero. But if it was temperature and where is null, you don't put zero. Zero means what? Zero means what?
It means the temperature is at 0 level.
At 0 level implies what?
0 degrees.
Very cold.
Very cold.
Very
Meanwhile,
cold,
that
between
data
0
was empty. Can you see that? So you have given a different meaning to that word, empty data. Can you see that? Now, sometimes you may also have null. It's not null means blank. NA means not available. NaN means what? Not a number. Okay. So, for example, now a robot. So, if you see human beings can have hair, isn't it? Human beings can have hair. Can a robot have hair? Can a robot have hair? Or a computer, can a computer have hair?
No.
No, is it not? So in that case, if we have human being, hair, human male, hair, female, hair, computer, what will it have? What will computer have?
No.
None. It will have none there. Okay. So what I'm simply showing you that sometimes when you are filling your data, you need to understand, how do I know what is appropriate for it? When you say something is unknown, unknown means what? When you say something is unknown,
Not aware.
you have no idea what it is, not? So it can be what? Unknown. We cannot capture it. So before you clean your data, whenever you see these things, you must first of all take time to try to understand what it is first before you jump into the cleaning. Because if you decide to go and fill it wrongly, then there will be a problem. Because again, when we look at missing data, right? The easiest thing for missing data is to drop all missing data. So drop all NA. Please drop everything missing data, or you can omit it from your data. So that one is easy to do, but it has implication because your data will reduce, isn't it? It will reduce your what data so much. And again, you must understand the kind of what data you are working with now. The BC data, what is causing it? Because the BC data can either be systematic or it can be random. If it is systematic, it means that what? When you say something is systematic, what does that mean? If it's systematic, what does that mean?
It has a structure.
It has a pattern. Is it? It has a pattern. A visible word pattern. So random means that it can be anyone. So for example, if I was collecting data from everybody here, and I only collected data from females, from all the ladies, all the men, they did not fill any data. Is that systematic or random?
Systematic.
It's systematic, is it not? Because from the pattern I'm seeing, it is only females that have data, while all males are missing. So in that case, it is what? Systematic. But if some male BC data, female BC data, male, female BC data that way, then in that case, it now becomes what? Random. Okay. So all this will now determine how you are going to what? Clean your what? Data. Is that clear? Because I know we have been doing data cleaning, isn't it? But now this is just like a summary of everything you done, what we have done so far. How you now need to what? Identify what I need to what? Clean. I hope this is clear.
Yes, sir.
Is this clear? All right.
Yes, it
good.
is, sir.
Okay, good. So those other things we look out for, especially your dirty data, isn't it? So sometimes you will see special characters. Sometimes you will see a value, a numeric value stored as a text, isn't it? You may see duplicate rows, you may see spelling errors, you may see inaccurate measures, right? You may see white spaces, you may see missing data, you may see 0 instead of null. So all these are different things we need to look out for. Once we have seen it, because understanding of your data will determine how you are going to clean the data. And most times we may never be able to use entire data set. So that's why it's important you must learn how to select your data, because not all variables you may need. Okay, so you must learn to select your relevant data, and if possible, you can filter them. Okay, so that was why we had looked at that data manipulation. Okay, I hope we are clear now.
Yes.
I hope we are clear.
Yes, sir.
This is clear, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, because that cars data, I think that car data is very small, so I think we can easily read. So if I want to see the entire data, I can just type view cars, isn't it? It will show me the entire. So you see just 2 now, isn't it? So most time when you are trying to analyze that data, so if I want to check, is there missing data here? How will I do? Is there missing data? What do I do? If I want to check if there's missing data, what do I do? Yes?
Is is.is.na
Is any here?
then
The
data, yes.
So if I decide to say sum, zero means what? Eh? What does 0 mean? 0 means what?
There's nothing is missing.
Nothing is
False.
missing. Nothing is missing. So that's a clean data set, isn't it? So in that case, because when I look at my cars, if I type cars here, so can you see that? So it has no missing data. If I want to see everything, if I say glimpse of cars, can you see that? You can see the data type there, isn't it? If I say summary of my cars, so that's a summary, isn't it? So this is like a descriptive statistics. If I was to find correlation, it would be correlate cars. Okay, so that's so all you are doing is what exploratory, isn't it? You are exploring. If, for example, now look at if I have cars, for example, like these cars. So let me run that. If I have cars this way, I don't want to see everything. I just want to see the top. So if I say heads of cars, what does this one do for you? What does this do for you?
It shows you the first 5 or 6 rows.
6 rows, exactly. So if I want to check the bottom, what will I do? Tail of cars. In Python, how do we do it? In Python, how do you do it?
It's head we use.
Yes, cars.head, is it not? Then what about to see the last one? The bottom.
So we don't have tail in Python.
We don't have tail in Python. Hey. All right. So we see how we can look at what head and tail, isn't it? So we can look at it. So for example, if I want to select a part, so let's say, for example, if I say view cars, now you can see everything here. So let's say, for example, I want to see, now take note, the one other difference you will notice between Python and R. Python, what is the column index for Python? What is Python column index?
0.
Is index what? 0, isn't it?
Yeah.
Python uses index what? 0. But take note. R uses index what?
1.
1. Python uses index 0. R uses index what? 1. If it was Python, you'd have to say 0, 1, 2, 3, isn't it? But in case of Python, in case of R uses what? Index 1. Clear? Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. So sometimes if I want to select maybe a particular row, I don't want everything. Maybe I want the first 5 rows. First 5 rows. First 5 rows. So what do I do? First 5 rows. First 5 rows. You know, in Python, it's also similar the way you slice. So if I have cars, so first 5 rows will be 1 to 5, isn't it? Comma. So remember, when I'm slicing, it is row by column. So this one has to do with the row, comma, the column. So if I run this now, let me see. Can you see what I've done? It now give me every column. Can you see that? If, for example, now if I say just give me column 1, so if I run that, see what has done now for me. It's giving me only what? What is it giving me here? Sorry, let me see the result again. So can you see the result? Let me see if I can expand it a bit ahead. So can you see the result now? Do you see the result? So give me 1 to 5, only 1 column. Can you see only 1 column? And that column is speed. So that's what you are seeing here. Clear? What if I say view? Can we view it? Okay. So to just bring it out in this structure for you. So double. So just tell you that this is there. So we can select. Let's say, for example, okay. Let's say Star Wars. Let's say Star Wars. Let me say view Star Wars. At least Star Wars has more columns. So let's say, for example, I want to select maybe these first 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I want to select 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you see that? So I want to select one from name to what? Hair color. From name to hair color. So do you understand what we want to do? We want to pick the rows and pick some specific columns. So here, I'll say Star Wars. So I want to slice 1 to 5, isn't it, comma? Then I want to get 1, 2, 3, 4, up to, so from name to where now? Let's say from name to hair color. From name to hair color. So let's see how that will work. From name to hair color. So name to hair color, how many columns is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's see how it goes. So 1 to 4. 1 to 4. Let's run and see. Now, can you see what it has done? So if I decide to view it, let me see if I decide to view. So can you see it now?
Yes.
So we have selected specific. Now, sometimes, if we already know, for example, we already know the name, the column names, isn't it? So this is name, this is hair color, isn't it? This is name, this is hair color. So I want to pick from here to here. Now, but look at the difference now is that I had called Star Wars. Okay, so I want to slice it from row 1 to 5. Let's say row 1 to 10, comma. Give me from names, is it name or names? From name to hair color. Hair color. From name to hair color, let me see. So let's see whether this will work for us. What did he say? Now, what if I Star Wars hair color? Let's see this one. What is it saying here? Am I missing anything there? Am I missing anything there? Okay, NAA. Okay, let me do it this way. If I select it this way now, it means give me every column. Give me every column. But now I don't want all columns. I just want from name to hair color. So I want from where? Name to hair color. Let me see this one. To hair color. So if it doesn't work this way, then I will now have to use what they call it now. I will now have to use maybe tidyverse to bring it in. Okay, but I think I get now. So when you are using the native R, it does not look at those column names that way. So you just use the. So for example, if I say give me from column 4 to 10. From column 4 to 10. Can you see column 4 to 10? So let me view it so that I can see it. View. So can you see column 4 to 10? So this column 4 to what? Column 10. That's column 4 to column what? 10. All right. Are we clear with that? Are we clear with that?
Yes, sir.
So it's only when you are using things like
Yes.
tidyverse now, right? So for example, if I say, let's say Star Wars, so Star Wars, select, maybe what do I want to select now? I want to select, or let's say, let me see, select 1 to 10. Then I want to select from where? We said name to where? Name to hair color, right? Name to hair color. Then let me view it. So let's see if this will work for us. Star Wars. Is it Star Wars? Star Wars. Star Wars. So can you see it now?
Star Wars.
Star Wars. So it brought out what now for us?
Star Wars. Okay.
Yes, Star Wars.
Star
Yes,
Wars.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Yes, Star Wars. But if I say give, this one means from name to hair. Let me see this one. Yes, so this is, can you see that? So I've selected 4 columns, you know, name, height. So you see, in this case now, when you're using tidyverse, in this case now, this is your select. You can select the column names rather than using it like this. Can you see that? Then let me see if I can run it. So if I say first 5, let's say 1 to 5. 1 to 5. So why not give me 1 to 5? What if I put it in the compound brackets?
He's saying that, I think he's seeing it as a column too.
Yes, I think that it's seen as a column too. Okay, that's true because that select, right, allows you to see only the column names. Yes, that's why. That's why. So that means that if I want to just select it that way, then I'll use this method. But if I want to select based on the column names and everything, then I'll use this method. Okay, I hope we are clear with that now, how to select the data, right?
Yes, sir.
Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you see your data set, right? So I want to show you how to, so I've shown you how to check the data type, right? I've shown you how to check the data type. Now, because you see, when you look at your data type, for example, if you see your data type, remember I told you that you have either it's nominal, whether it's categorical, isn't it? Or what we call ordinal. You know, for example, if I say male, female, male or female, male or female. So let's say male 1, female 2, right? Is female greater than male? Is female greater than male?
No.
No, is it not? So I just use those numbers to just assign them, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Now, you know that in your, when you are trying to build your machine learning model, you know when you write male, female, you have to go and recode it. Isn't it? You now recode it. Male 1, female 2. So anywhere I see 1 stands for male, 2 stands for female. So it's not looking at in terms of a number, it's just using them to assign. Can you see that? But let's say, for example, you have size of shirt. You say, let's say small, medium, large. So this is what? 1, let's say 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Is 2 greater than 1 in this case? Small, medium, large. Is 2 greater than 1?
Yes.
Is 3 greater than 2?
Yes.
So there's an order to it, isn't it? So this is what? Ordinal. So this is what they refer to as what? A factor. But if you are just using this to assign them without saying that, I just want to just assign the size, whether it is 1, 2, 3. But I'm not interested in whether large is greater than normal, than medium or small. In that case, it's not referred to as what? Ordinal. Is that clear? So in that case, we just use numbers to just assign them. But where one is greater than the other, then it now becomes what? Ordinal. Okay, so let's give a typical example. So let's say, for example, now we have, okay, let's say we have, so if I create, let's say I have gender, right? So let's say gender. Let's say I have male, female, isn't it? So I have, sorry. So I have male, female. So if I say gender, so you have male and female, isn't it? So assuming I decide to now add, maybe let me add another this thing for you there. Okay, let's say male. All right, so let's run this one now. So I have male, female, male, female, male, female, isn't it? So I have gender. So can you see the data here? This male, female, male, female. Now, if I check now, what is the data type? How do I check the data type here? How do I check the data type?
Class.
Class, is it not? Class.
Yes.
So class,
Yes.
gender, isn't it?
Data.
Sorry, gender. So character means what? Character means what? Basic character. Character means what? When you say character, what does that mean? Character. So when you say it's a character, what does it mean? A type. Okay. Yes, a type, but what type? It's a character. Yes? Yes, just a string, like a string, just like ordinary text. It's just like what ordinary word text. Okay. But where you want to measure it, because remember, R is a statistical programming tool, isn't it? So it's built for statistics. And you know, in statistics, you need to understand your measure, whether it is nominal, ordinal, or your ratio or interval, isn't it? So that's why this one, you just see it like a normal word, either it's nominal or whatever. But in this case, you see there was no number assigned to it. There are no numbers assigned to it, isn't it? So if I want to check, so if I call this is called factor. So factor what? Gender. Now can you see what they say levels? Level means what? Levels means what? When you say levels, what does levels mean? The levels. What does it mean?
Levels.
Level means what?
Ranking.
Like the ranking, is it not? So I'm just assigning, so those are the big data, female, male, isn't it? So in that case, it will assign 1 for what? So normally, you have assigned 1 for female, 2 for male. Okay, but you can't see it right here. Unless I now decide to convert it to a factor. Okay, so if I want to convert to a factor, you can, there are different ways, there are different methods of converting to a factor. Okay, but let me just show you one way of doing it. So let's say, for example, okay, let me use G. So let me represent gender as G. So let me assign it to G. So you see the difference. Okay, so if I call it factor, so can you see factor? So factor, so what's the data? Gender, right? The data is gender, isn't it? So if I say ordered equals to false, order equals to false, what does that mean? What does it mean? Order equal to false. What does it mean?
That means it should start from lowest to highest.
So when you say
Descending.
order, when you say ordered false, right? It means that what is different between nominal and ordinal? What is different between nominal and ordinal? When you say it's nominal data and ordinal,
Nominal has no ranking. They are the
no
same.
ranking, it means no order, isn't it? Why this one has what? Order. Can you see that? So when I say ordered equals to false, what does that tell you?
These are no
Ordered,
ranking.
no ranking, isn't it? So there's no order. That makes it what? What kind of data is this? What does
Nominal.
that make? It makes it what? A nominal. Can you see that now? Comma. Then you see these levels. I can decide to change it. For example, by default, the female, male. For example, if I want to now change my own, I can now say levels. I can now design my own and say levels. Let's say my own is now going to be what? Male, female. So let's say male, comma, female. Can you see that? Male, comma, what? Female. Now, but because now I'm combining them, concatenating them, so I have to put them in this thing there. Okay. So let's run it and check. So if I run G now, let me see G. Now, can you see what has happened now? Look at our initial data. Let's run gender. You see, gender would have just listed them like this. But in this case now, it's not telling you that they are now what levels. Can you see how it's arranged now? Okay. But if I decide to say, okay, let me now check the data. Okay. So for example, if I decide to now check the character of it, so let's do that. So let's be pipe it. Let me pipe and say glimpse. So let me have a glimpse of it. So can you see one? What does one mean now? One means what? What does one mean?
One means lowest.
Two.
Male.
Male, is it not? Two means what?
Female.
Female, exactly, because that's how I've ordered it. But if I switched it around, let's say female, male, female, and male, it means that what? So let's run that now and check. So 2 is for what? 2 is what? 2 is what?
Female.
Male. 1 is what?
So female.
I've switched it now. So every time, the first thing here is 1, the second one will be 2, 3, 4, like that. So if I look at the original data, here. Gender. Can you see it starts with male? Can you see that? So the starting is what? Male, female, male, female, male, female. Can you see that? So if I have ordered it 1, 2, it means that here will be what? Here will be what? Male will be what?
1.
Look at it here now. I have ordered it this way. So if I've ordered it this way, which one comes first here? This order. Which one comes first?
Female.
Female comes first. So female will be 1, male will be 2. Is it not? So because on this data, the first thing I see here is male. So what number will be assigned to it?
1.
It cannot be 1 now. Look at here now.
2. It's 2.
It's 2.
Okay, it's going to be 2.
Guys,
Male
so
will
now
be
I
2,
have
female
2. So the next one is female. Female will now be what?
1.
1. Next one will be what?
2.
Male.
Male, which will be what?
2.
That is exactly what you are seeing here. But if I switch it the other way around, so let me switch it the other way around now. So it means if I have male first, so male will be what now?
Male will be 1, female
Male
will
will
be
be
2.
1, female will be what?
2.
2. Oh yeah, let's run and check now. So let's run and check now. So that first male now, this one will be what?
1.
This one will be what?
2.
This will be what?
1.
This will be what?
2.
Exactly, just like that.
Okay.
So in this case, this is an ordinal data. You know, in Python, what you'd have done, you'd have assigned 1, 2, 3 to it, isn't it? But now it will understand that instead of seeing male as a text, it will see male as 1, female as 2. Okay. But if in case I have to now order it, let's say, for example, that example I gave of maybe size of shirts, maybe I have shirts. Let's say shirts. Let's say this shirt now, let's say I have, okay, let's do it like this. Let's say we have large, medium, let's say small, isn't it? So let me just copy them out. So let me see. So let me do like, so let me have small, small, small. All right. So, what is empty? I hope I closed everything. Aha, can you see that? All right, let's run this now. Good, 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 good. So if I have a glimpse, of it, so that I can look at it. So can you see what we have here? So this is how the data looks like. What's the data type? What's the data type?
Character.
Is a character, isn't it? Is a character. So let's say, for example, I want to now make it a factor, isn't it? So I want to order it. So 1, 2, 3. So I want to order it. So how will the order be now? So which order will it take?
Small 1.
So
Medium
small
2,
1,
large 3.
large 3.
Medium 2.
So 1, 2, 3 means small, medium, large. Do you agree with that? Small, medium, large. Is that okay? So let's create another one. So let's say S. So let us now do that. So let's call it factor. Now, what's my data? Shirt, isn't it?
Shirt, yes.
Shirt, isn't it? Now, order. Is it ordered? Is there going to be an order?
Yes.
Then we'll have true there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Then levels. Is there levels to it? So we have what? Small. Yes. So I will now have to specify it. Small, medium, small, medium, and what? And large. Okay. Small, medium, and what? Large. So let me just glimpse of it. So let's run that and check. So can you see that now? So 3 is what now? 3 means what?
3 is large.
3 is large. 2 is what?
2 is medium.
And 1 is what?
Small.
So that is exactly
Small.
what you are seeing here. That is exactly what you are seeing here. Oh.
Okay, so when it's doing that, it starts from 1 all the time.
Yes,
default,
because I've
right?
ordered it that way. Exactly. It starts from 1. Exactly.
Okay. All right.
If, for example, I change here down to false, what does that mean? If I change here to false, what does it mean? If I've changed here to false now, what does that mean?
There is no ranking.
That
No ranking. So this means this is nominal data. Why this is what ordinal data?
Mm.
Can you see that? So no ranking in that case, because your understanding of the data will determine how you are going to analyze it. Because sometimes you will need your data to be what seen as what a factor, especially when you are going to be doing your, for example, your, you know how you do your group by. Group by, so it's just like a factor there, isn't it? Group by that particular value. Okay, and those in, okay, let's me see. You know, again, there when we have something I wanted to show you guys. Okay, we already know how to select. So let me show you how to concat. So for example, if I have two variables, let's say for example, I have, okay, let's say I have first name. Let's say first name. Let's say Francis. Let's say surname. Let's say Okoye. So let me run this now, isn't it? Now you know normally, right? When you are running your, if I want to bring them together, how do I bring them together? I would say Francis plus surname. Is that how we'd have done it? How we have done this? So if I say FN, Francis, SN, Okoye. So how we have done it now? So if I want to bring them together, yes, I can say name is equals to CFN comma what SN. Like this, right?
Yes, sir.
So if I now say names, so you see Francis Okoye, but you see it's separating them for you. It's separating them for you. So I want to bring them together. If it was Python, Python I would have used, okay, let's see if I use sum of what? FN comma SN. Will this work? Will this work?
Oh, what if we use cbind?
Cbind. So that one is for columns now.
Okay.
That's for columns. So in that case, if it was Python, you know Python, I would have used FM plus SN. You know that one will still work in Python.
Yes.
In Python, that will work, isn't it? But you see, this is for statistics. Can you see that statistics? You cannot just add two pieces like that. So in that case, there's something we call paste. So paste what? FN, first name, and what? Surname. Can you see that now? So you now see the minor differences now, isn't it? Because again, but the good part about it is that you can even put a particular separator. So if I want a particular separator, let's say I want the separator to be what now? Let's say underscore. Let's put an underscore as a separator. Can you see that now? Can now bring them together. You can now bring them together. You know, again, for example, if I want to have, let's say we have students, let's say student one, so let's say student 1 to about maybe 1,000 to student 1,000. So how can I generate a range of students from student 1 to student 1,000? How we have done this? You know, like in Excel, you'd have just typed student 1, then drag down to 1,000, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then to start generating it 1 to 1,000 for you. Okay. But you will see that in R it's a bit different. So for example, students is the character. So I'll say paste. So students, isn't it? So student is the character. So let me put it there, students. So student, so just like I want to get student or registration number. Okay, let's say registration number. Registration. Or let's say reg. Okay, let's say reg. Okay, reg. Okay. Now there's something called sequence. I think I showed you guys sequence, right? If I say sequence 1 to 100. Can you see that? So sequence. So if I want to put it to 1,000, you see how it does not struggle. So I want to get to 1 billion. Excel takes how many? How many can Excel take? How many can Excel take?
I think it's about
1 million and something.
About
So let me do
1
2 billion. So can Excel take 2 billion?
no.
No,
Excel takes 2 billion.
no.
Now, do you see how easy it is with R? So this is 2 billion that's created already in 1 second.
Mm.
So can you see where limitation of Excel now comes in? Why you now need things like R? So you see 2 billion that generated immediately for me quickly. I can guarantee if you do this in Excel, you manage to raise it 1 to the end, up to 1 billion. Save that file, open it again. Then imagine you want to do an update or something on that. Then you see how it's going to struggle.
Mm.
Okay?
Mm.
But you see, with R, it's just seamless. As if it's not carrying any load.
Mm.
Isn't it? So now I want to generate registration number from 1 to, let's say, 1,000. So I can use the sequence from 1 to what? 1,000. From 1 to 1,000. So you know what we want to do now? So we want to have like registration 1, registration 2 to 1,000. So can you see that?
Okay.
You understand it now? So this is how you can quickly generate all these. Now, if you look at, for example, let's say there are certain columns that maybe you don't want, you want to change their names. Okay, let me see which data sets. We have used the Star, okay, let's say Star Wars. So let's say view Star Wars. So mass. Let's say, for example, can you see mass? I don't want to call it mass, I want to call it weight. Can you see mass now? I don't want to call it mass, I want to call it weight.
Yeah.
I want to call it, so it's just like I want to rename my column. Okay, I want to rename my column. I want to rename my column. All right, good. So if I want to rename my column from, so before it is called mass, I want to call it what? Weight. Isn't it? Mass, I want to call it weight. You know, this is what we normally do. If it was in SQL, we would have said what? What we have done in SQL, it would have been where what? Rename that particular column where the column name mass, you know, call it the new name weight.
Mass, yeah.
Call it weight. Now, but in this case, with R, it's a bit different. So let's say Star Wars. Okay. Now, what I want to do, I want to rename. What do I want to rename? What do I want to rename? Mass to what?
Mass, yes. To weight.
To weight, isn't it? But this is like reverse. I'll first of all put the new name first. So I want weight equals to mass. Can you see that?
Okay.
So it's like the reverse of it. So this is where it is a bit different. So if I want to view it now, let me say glimpse of it. So you see weight now. Can you see weight now? So I've changed it. So before we would have said where mass, put it equals to weight, but in R is the reverse. We put the new name first, equal to the old name. Is that clear?
Yeah, it is.
Clear, okay, good. So basically, if you want to select your, so I've shown you how, you know how to select your data, is it? You know how to select your data, right? We know how to filter, isn't it? We know how to select our data. We know how to filter. We know how to filter, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's say view Star Wars. View Star Wars. So let's say, for example, I want to get, so which column should we select now? Which column should we select? Yes, I'll copy the code and send to you guys. I'll send it on the text and send it to you. Okay, let's say for example we have eye color, hair color. Okay, let's say we have name, height. Let me say again, name, height. What again? Okay, name, height, mass.
Betty.
So let's say we have name, height, mass, hair color, skin color. Okay, so let's do that. So Star Wars. So I want to select what now? Select from what? Name to where? So name to skin color, right? Select from name to skin what color. So let me run this and check. What did he say? Okay, let me take all the rules, everything. All right, good. So let me view it. So let me view. You know, if I do it this way, I can still view it instead of me calling it inside the variable. Can you see what I've done? I've selected everything for me. Name. So I want to select where skin color is gold. I want to select only where skin color is what? Gold. So what do I do? Where skin color is gold. So what do I do now? Okay, let's say where skin, okay, let's start where skin color is gold. Where skin color is gold.
Okay, you do filter.
Yes, I will now do what? Filter. What am I filtering?
Skin color.
Yes, so what's the name of that variable now? Is that skin color? Where's
Skin color, yes.
color? Yes.
Skin underscore
It's what?
color, yes.
Is what?
Gold.
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 Is it capital letter G or small letter G?
I
So
think it's small.
if I want to check it now quickly, I'll say what? Star. So I say unique, isn't it? Unique. Star Wars for what? Skin color, isn't it? Skin color. So it will just bring out all the unique data, isn't it? So it's good, like, isn't it? So let's run that. Invalid first argument. What did I miss out? Filter skin color equal to gold. Okay, I did not pipe this in. Pipe it in. So let's run that and check. All right, good. So can you see that?
Yeah.
So it has filtered that data for you. But you see, sometimes, so let's say gold. What was the other one? We saw that one again. Let's say reds. Let's see reds. As just one is bringing out. So let's say red or gold. So how do we do red or gold? Red or gold. How do we do that? Red or gold. Red or gold. How do we do red or gold? How do we do red or gold? Skin color. Oh. Okay, we even have pale. Okay, let me see pale. Let me see pale. Let's see pale. So we could not find what is missing there. So can you see pale now? Skin color is pale. So let's say I want to get gold or pale. Gold or pale? What do I do? Gold or pale? Gold or pale? How do we now do it? I think we did it last week now.
Yeah.
So gold. So if I want to use or, the symbol is what? You cannot type or there. So what is the symbol for or? Or
Yeah, that one.
skin color is equals to
Skin
what?
color.
Equals to what?
Go.
Gold.
Go.
Can you see that? Or skin color is equals to what? Gold. Can you see that now? Now, watch, you see in R, you know, in R, because it's a programming language, right? This is how you normally do it. But there's another method again. There's another method of doing this same thing. So let's look at it, for example. So let's write it again. Let's write the syntax again. So Star Wars. So select. So I want to select what? I want to select everything. That command means what? All the rows, isn't it? Then give me from name. So let's say I want to select name. Let's say from name to skin color, right? From name to skin color. All right. And then what do I want to do? And then I want to filter. What do I want to filter now? What do I want to filter?
Skin color. Skin color.
Skin color, isn't it?
It's
So I want to filter what? Skin color, right? Now, you know what we did just now? We said where skin color is equals to pale or what? Good.
Skin
Now,
color
imagine
equals
now,
to-
let's imagine now. You had up to like 5 you want to bring out. So this, assume it was gold, white, and the rest. So it means I would have been copying this one all through. Is that not true? I would have been copying it. I would have said pale, gold, white, black. But that would be too stressful now.
Yeah.
Right? So, and that method of doing it, we can use this called in. Can you see this one? This is another way of saying in what? Then I'll now create the list for it. So here in this case, I wanted what? Pale and gold, is it not? Pale.
Yeah.
Gold. So I can now list everything that I want here. So which method would have been better? So do where skin color is equal to pale, skin color equal to gold, skin color equal to black, skin color equal. Do you see that? But in this case, I can just run it this way.
That is better.
Then let me what? View. And let's check if this will work. Aha. Can you see that? The same thing. So this method would have been preferable if you have more lists. Can you see that? Or more criteria. Then you can do that. If I want to arrange them now, what do I do? I want to sort it out. Say arrange. What am I arranging? What am I arranging?
Star Wars. Not Star Wars.
What am I arranging? Skin color now, isn't it? Skin color.
Yeah, skin color, yeah.
Then let me type that in. So that you arrange it by skin color. Sorry. So to just arrange them. But if I want it in descending order, the other way around. So what do I do? If I want to do the other way around, I would have put descending.
Descending, yeah.
So that's how. All right. So basically that's. So when we come again, the other thing. So I will treat missing data. Now, can we? Tomorrow is public holiday. Can we meet tomorrow? This is a new month. We are expected to enter another 2 Tableau. So I want to see how fast we can finish this hour.
We can conclude that in the WhatsApp group, sir, before the end of today.
Okay, before the end of today.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. So I think we can, unless we have any other questions. Do you have any questions? Because if we can meet tomorrow, then I want us to finish that data cleaning. Because once you are done with data cleaning, then I'll just show you the other algorithms. Because most times you need to clean your data before you start working. Okay. Then we'll just go into the algorithms and so what's left? Okay, visualization. Have we done visualization in R?
No, sir.
We have not done data visualization in R.
It's only box plots we've done.
Yes, okay, but I've not gone through most of the visuals. I just did some basic ones, but I've not gone through all of them.
Yeah.
Yes. So just to show you how it works. Then once we are done with that, because I did not introduce you guys to ggplot. I didn't introduce you guys to ggplot. So I think that those are the two basic things that will be left once we are done with data cleaning. Because now we now know how to select our data, filter it. So now we want to go further. Then remove the missing data or fill the data with different values so we can start working. Yeah, only box plot, yes. All right, so let's conclude if we are meeting tomorrow or not. Okay. So I think we can end it here now, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
let me copy.
Yes, we can, but yeah.
Yes. I want to copy it out and paste on the text. Let me see. You see this array, if you don't practice it, it will look like miracle. So what do I call it? So data manipulation. So let me share it on the chat. Data manipulation. All right, check if you have it there now. Data manipulation.
Please, can you put it on Zoom as well, please?
It's on Zoom. It's on Zoom.
Okay, hasn't come.
It hasn't come. Somebody should check.
You actually put it in the chat.
Yes, on the Zoom chat. Yes.
No, not Zoom chat. In the class chat.
Is that where I put it?
Yes, sir.
Let me check.
Okay.
Can anybody see it? Can anybody see it?
Yeah, I saw it in the class chat. And
Yes, now.
downloaded.
If you've downloaded it now, you can send it on WhatsApp for others.
It didn't download. It didn't. Okay. Well, the way it downloaded, it downloaded like a notepad.
Yes, I said it as a notepad. Yes.
Okay. All right.
So it's very small.
Okay. All right.
So that
I will send it to the class chat, to the Zoom chat.
Zoom chat. All right. All right, guys. So
thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, so we see you again. All right, take care.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
All right, thank you.